One of the things that we get asked a lot about is how to keep your operating costs low when you're just getting started. So a lot of people out there make people believe that they need a physical office space and that they need all of these resources and tools to actually start out their business. And for that reason, they fear getting started because they're like, oh, I don't have $50,000 to invest in this. So when you were just getting started, what did you do to try to keep those operating costs low and still make things work for you and grow the way you wanted them to grow?
Just getting started, we actually ran our business from home in the beginning because the first employees were my mom, her friends, her colleagues, that sort of thing. So running it from the house
didn't make any sense to have physical office.
It didn't matter because the people that we were working with were familiar and close.
Yeah.
And in healthcare staffing, you don't really have to meet with the facilities that you're staffing at. So it's not, you don't have to have that office presence. But as soon as we started making a little bit of money, we ended up moving into an office space, then buying a building. But that kind of came later as we were starting to interface more with employees that weren't familiar.
Yeah.
Right?
It became a need until you didn't do it until it actually became a need and you could afford it.
Correct. But in the current environment, the world's a lot different. So the thing that I recommend people do when they're just starting their business out and they don't want to run their business from home either because they're afraid of the appearances or they don't want, folks showing up to their house, right? But I totally get that.
Yeah.
Go with a co-working space. You have Regus, you have WeWork, you have Spaces, you have tons of co-working spaces throughout the country. It's a new model that I would say got popular in the past 10 years, like 12 years, where you can get a membership to an office space for less than $300 a month. I think Spaces does it at like $150. You get access to an office, you get a mailing address, you get the things that you need.
Get what you actually need when you're just getting started.
Flexibility in lease terms. So if you needed to meet a client, that's where you meet them. If you need an address for filing licensure, filing for your entity, a place where you could receive mail, a place that you could put on your website, that's your location. And it's going to be done really cheap. So you could get an office, like a dedicated office, anywhere from like $600 to like $2,200, depending on the city, location, blah, blah, blah. But the co-working spaces are so much cheaper. So from a space standpoint, I would say that's how you would handle it. If you're okay running from home, run from home. If your state allows you to run from home, if it's a licensed state, run from home. It's gonna keep your overhead low. But the next cheapest option between internet, you get access sometimes to conference rooms, you get the common meeting areas. For less than $300, I think it's worth it.